You are listening to Perspectives Over Beatz, where we interview the hottest unsigned artists that are spinning on We Hustle 365 iRadio. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is JLouise, and I'm interviewing Red Sonya. Now, if you've been listening to the station, you've heard her song. She has some tight lyrics up in there. Basically, it's diva hustle all the way. If you ain't heard it, you're missing something. You need to check it out. Matter of fact, we'll throw her some more extra rotations in there so you can hear it. Straight up diva hustle. She ain't backing down. She's going straight at her enemies. She's letting them know, hey, get out the damn way. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
That's good. I'm doing well, thank you. Doing well. So first question everybody wants to know, how did you start in this rap hustle, this rap game?
It's funny because when I first started, I was real young, and before I started rapping, I was actually singing. My mother used to have me in the church choir as a child, and as I've gotten a little older, I'd say I probably started rapping around 10 or 11 years old.
Okay.
So when I dropped my first record, I was about close to 14 years of age. My first record was called Give a Dog a Bone, and it was put out by a local label called Lumen Records, which was a subsidiary of BMG, because they later picked up my single, which was an answer record to Snoop Dogg's first single, With My Name. So it did pretty well. It charted, and it was an international record, and then the album dropped a little bit after that. But I got started just cyphering in the neighborhood with the guys since I was a tomboy anyway, always hanging out with them, playing basketball and football, and then I got influenced by them because they went into rap, so I wanted to get into rap too. And one of my friends discovered, you're a pretty good lyricist. You're already writing poetry, so you can write your own bars, because one of my homeboys used to write bars for me, and he was like, you can do it yourself. So I started out, writing bars, and then I started getting into battles and stuff, like really young. So I was just a kid when I first started out, believe it or not.
Okay, because like your friend was telling you, and like I already mentioned, your lyrics are like, I like your lyrics a lot. It definitely, it's definitely diva hustle. It's definitely, inspiration to the ladies, and going at some of the guys, and
that's basically where most of the aggression in my music comes from, and people fail to understand my background, because I get a lot of people who come across me and they listen to my music, and they was like, well, female, you go so hard. And I'm like, well, you have to be pretty aggressive in this business, period, as a female. Right. But as an artist, you want to make the guys respect what it is that you do, because they already look at us as, oh, she don't write her own music. Half of the stuff she's saying, you can't really take them seriously for what it is they say or how they say it. So I just wanted to be able to be one of those females to prove that we're just as creative and talented, and we go just as hard as the dudes do. So, like I said, I started out writing poetry and little songs for, some females in my neighborhood, and then it just carried over into hip-hop. And I found that was more my medium because I was so aggressive anyway.
Right.
So I just put that into my music, and they respect that, because I have a lot of guys that hit me up and they want me to write songs for them, believe it or not, where I'm from stateside.
Well, you know what? You also do it without sounding like a dude. And I think,
right.
that is the, I guess, the issue of the day for a lot of ladies who rap is, are you going to keep your femininity, or are you going to, you can either go too far with the femininity and you end up sounding like Minnie Mouse, or, you can go too far to the other direction and you sound like, is that a dude or a chick? What is that?
Exactly.
But,
Yeah, because when I dropped my first record, that was the issue. I wouldn't so much say it was the issue, but when I dropped my first single, and I remember doing my very first show in Tampa, I remember the program director over at WRAD, he was surprised when he first saw me, because he was like, she's so pretty. She's like, I thought this was a dude rapping on this track. She sounds like a little boy. My label heads had to, let them know this is she.
Right.
They was like shocked. So they was like, not only does she go so hard, she just kind of throws you off her image because she looks so sexy. She looks very feminine, but she can definitely hold her weight. So that's one thing that made people sit up and take notice about me, was the fact that I was able to create a balance between femininity and not, going so far overboard with the masculine attitude that most females feel like they have to, project in their music. And basically, when I first started working with my producer, KLC, he was telling me the same thing. Like, you don't have to go so hard. You can still keep your femininity and still just talk. So I managed to find a common balance between the two.
I go all the way back to old school rap. Not gonna let everybody know how old I am. Probably guess, because I talked about how I have a 14-year-old, and I didn't have when I was a teen either. So you probably guess. So I go way back, and But that's it goes way back to like Finesse and Sinquest and your Salt and Pepper and your Sugar and Spice. They went hard, but they still feminine.
Right. That's so funny because I happen to have those records. Even though I'm still young myself, a lot of people I feel like an old soul in a young body, but I listen to all hip hop, whether it's old school, new school. If it's good, I listen to it. And I happen to have a godbrother who was a DJ who had those records in his shop when I worked for him. So I managed to pick up on a lot of old school hip hop as well as current hip hop.
Right.
And I appreciate it all.
Yeah, I mean, whether you new or old, there's something you can glean from, regardless the generation that hip hop song or that rap song came out of. You can always take something from it. That's I keep telling my 14-year-old. We do like the weekend YouTube museum like situation. I'll throw some old school videos his way.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my God, Dickie Fresh was he was a man." He was a man. The Fat Boys did not invent beatbox, okay?
Right. Because I have nieces and nephews who, look at current hip-hop and they hear certain samples from older records and they think, oh, this artist did that, original record. And I'm like, believe it or not, that artist or rap artist originated or, sampled that record from this original record, and it goes way back further than what you think. So a lot of the new generation of kids think that certain songs that are being put out today are actually songs that they originally created when they were sampled from other records that were old school. So I just try to make my nieces and nephews understand, I want you to be able to have a full appreciation for music, period.
Right.
Because without these older artists, there would not be hip-hop artists that would have these hits out right now if it were not for them when they were sampling their stuff.
Exactly.
Yep.
Staying in the flow of old school, what influenced you? What artists influenced you to aspire to be the next level? Right, Sonya.
I'm not going to lie. Every time I'm asked this question, without question or doubt, Roxanne Shante. She's my biggest influence as far as female rappers concerned. And like I said, I remember seeing her videos when I was really, really young and not fully understanding what it was. But as I got older, I started digging back, sort of in the crates, and so I started pulling up some of her music and stuff. And I learned to appreciate her style because even though she was aggressive, and she was able to hang with the best of them, she still kept her femininity, which is one thing that appealed to me. So that's one thing that I do like about her, besides the fact that she was just talented, period. She didn't even have to really go in the studio and write anything down. She just spit bars or whatever have you, but she was always my biggest influence, and she made me believe that female rappers can be just as successful commercially as the guys. Mm-hmm. So that inspired me a lot. But she's my favorite female rapper, hands down.
There you go.
So other people that influenced me would be T.I., Trick Daddy. I'm from Florida, so, Trick Daddy is big here. We grew up on that.
Oh, yeah.
Luther Campbell, I listen to him. There's several artists that I listen to. Scarface, like I said, I appreciate all hip-hop, even Big Daddy Kane, some people are like, what you know about that? And I'm like, just because you don't mean I don't know. So I can appreciate, old and new school and combine them together. So, but definitely, hands down, Shantae was my favorite artist.
There you go. Yeah, I remember them, yeah. I remember all that UTFO, I'm sorry, not UFO, UTFO situation, how she basically got on their back for that mess.
Yeah, that was a crazy era when she first came out, and then it launched all these other little anthem records that stemmed from that. So I was able to, listen to some of this stuff, and I was like, wow. I mean, that was the real essence of what hip-hop was all about, so I learned to appreciate that. But to me, it was exciting. Just to hear these females doing their thing and that whole thing that just unfolded, I was really into that. So that was, to me, what hip-hop was really all about. Because it starts with battling anyway.
Exactly.
So it was almost like a war of words, just on wax and stuff, going back and forth between all these answer records and UTFO. And it's funny because I had a DJ just recently ask me if I can drop a freestyle on the UTFO's Roxanne beat. And I'm sitting there like, are you serious? I was like, I would love to do it.
That'd be so amazing. That'd be so amazing. Combining today with back, because, that was a classic. But that would be so freaking cool.
when he heard my verse, he was like excited. He was like, I mean, you made it old school, but you made it, you put a twist on it. He was like, you definitely got to do this one. So this one DJ out of Tampa, and you'll be hearing it real soon. So I'm going to be dropping that one in probably less than a month.
Got me all excited, yes. Because that was a song. Because you know, Roxanne with me. I ain't even trying to get into that, but yeah, because I was. I ain't gonna say how old I was, but yeah, I was definitely feeling that song way back in the day, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean,
I love that record.
I mean, but that, like you said, that whole era of when that came out, and then it was just, you know, there weren't that many ladies rapping, but the ones that were around, they were representing. They
right.
And they end up opening the doors, you know, for MC Lyte and her group that came through. A lot of them fell off, but you know, she maintained. And but it's just amazing what that Roxanne Shante and then the other Roxanne and what they all were able to bring to the table to open the door for people who end up opening the door, the windows, the roof, the attic, and the ceiling and whatnot for you guys in this generation.
Exactly. Shout out to all of them. I respect all of them. So
Exactly. So where do you see yourself, you know, in this whole hip hop culture thing? Where do you want to take Red Sonya?
Well, basically, my whole thing is I always wanted to be respected as an artist as well as a lyricist, and I think I've gotten that point across because, like I said, I have dudes that hit me up anonymously. Of course, they don't want it to let it get out. Even some well-known artists that want me to write songs for them. Mm-hmm. So I think that was the most important thing to me to be respected as an artist and as a lyricist, but. The mark that I would like to leave on the rap game once I do exit one day is the fact that, they're able to respect the fact that I'm a businesswoman as well as an artist. I'm serious about my craft. I've been doing it for a minute now. I grew up in a musical family. My father used to be in a jazz band. Mm-hmm. My mother was a singer, not professionally. She used to, sing gospel or whatever have you. Mm-hmm. But my family has always been surrounded by music. I grew up in it. And basically, I just want to see myself just making great music that people can appreciate 10, 15, even 20 years from now, basically.
There you go. Okay. So do you have any, other than, I can't wait to hear it, the project you just mentioned coming out, do you have any other projects that you're working on for the summer, or what you got going on?
Yes, I am. Right now, I'm about, I'd say, 85-90% finished with my street album, Cold Red, which will be dropping sometime in the late summer, early fall. Kelsey is the executive producer of my album. For those who aren't familiar with him, please get familiar, because if you're familiar with No Limit Records, then Kelsey is synonymous with No Limit Records as well as Beatz by the Pound. Mm-hmm. He's the lead producer of Beatz by the Pound when they was with Masterpiece labels. They collectively sold, I believe, about 50, 60 million plus records while he was with No Limit.
Wow.
But he was responsible for some of their largest hits. So he's somebody I always wanted to work with. And like I said, he's the executive producer of my album. My current single, Cold Red, will be available on iTunes real soon.
Okay.
People have been asking and waiting on this project because I've been working on it for almost a year now.
Whoa.
But he did contribute 5 tracks to the album, and he produced the title track, Cold Red.
Okay.
So I'm working on that right now.
Wow. You go, girl.
Thank you.
It's got to be good, because you got some of these artists, they put stuff together like in a month, and they think it's the hardest stuff ever. No, you got to let stuff marinate.
Exactly. See, the thing that artists fail to realize is that, because if you notice nowadays, artists are dropping singles left and right, and they don't properly promote or market these singles or their album projects, and they don't give them enough time to really catch on. Mm-hmm. The labels are more concerned nowadays with you just putting out singles or, immediate songs that would hit, with the general market that they can get a quick profit off of.
Exactly.
So they don't really groom artists the way they used to and put them in a position to where, they can, take their time with their project and put out good quality music. That's one thing that I do appreciate about Chelsea is the fact that he's just not going to put anything out there. Mm-hmm. He's going to work with some of the greats like T.I., Mystical, basically Master P, Bud B, and, just a lot of artists that he's worked with. And one thing that he takes pride in is the fact that, he cares about his projects. He wants to make sure that they're just right. He's pretty much a perfectionist like me.
Mm-hmm.
So if it takes me a while to, work on my project to make sure I give my fans the best of me, then that's what I'm going to do. And I do have fans that's anticipating this album, but trust me, the way it's coming together right now, they're going to love it. It's something for everybody on there. They're going to love it.
There you go. There you go. Well, you kind of touched on something, and I've asked, I guess, almost all the artists that we interview for Perspective or Beatz. And is it your... let me see if I can come up with a nice way for phrases. Most artists we speak to, they're sold on the idea that if the major was to come with them the right way, they'll sign with the major. But a few of them are like, no, I'm an indie artist. I'm an indie artist till I die, and I don't need a major, scheming and scamming off of what I'm doing, because they're not doing much, and they require me to come to the table with so much, and they're only willing to offer so little. So, what is your perspective on the whole indie, the whole indie situation, where some indies are dead set on if they come a knocking, I'm my answer, versus I'm a little hesitant with that, and I'm cool with being an indie.
Right. Well, actually, currently right now, I do have several offers from at least 2 or 3 majors, and then the other 3 are major independents.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those, I believe I've turned like 2 of them down already.
Okay.
The reason being is because basically they don't really care about the longevity of an artist. Like I said, they just want to be able to put out an artist who already has a following. They don't have to sit there and spend so much budget dollars or money on marketing and, grooming this artist. They just basically want you to have a following and be able to be ready to ship product or put it out there so that they can see a quick profit or sale off of it. With the advent of the internet, downloading and digital music, rising the way it has in the last 10 years or so, is the reason being that the majors have been hit in a certain way, to a certain degree, to where they're not really seeing the bigger profits that they used to see, like maybe even 15, 20 years ago. So that caused independent artists of being able to go out there and put out their own product, and they'll be able to see a quicker return on investment off of their music, as opposed to signing with a major. And, they take so much, from their profit as far as, what they put into their projects and things of that nature. So my thing is, I enjoy being an independent artist. I would not care to sign with a label if I felt like they didn't have my best interest at heart. And most of them, they're just willing to bleed you dry and take you for what it is that you got. And you'll be lucky if you see anything from your project, by signing with a major, depending on who you sign with. But they're offering a lot of 360 deals right now.
Right.
So that's not something that I'm crazy about, and that's something that I'm staying away from. But one of the majors is offering me a very unique deal right now that may benefit me in the biggest way possible. So I'm excited about that. But like I said, I've been going through the negotiation process with these labels for close to a year now. So I'm not in any hurry to sign with any label if I feel like it doesn't have my best interest in heart as an artist. So I'm quite content with being an indie artist right now. Very.
Well, you definitely got your businesswoman on. Definitely got your businesswoman on.
That's one thing I try to stress to these females, because they put themselves in positions to where they feel like if a person comes along and throw enough money their way and it sounds good to them, they'll go with it. And I'm like, no, it's just about more than that. You have to know your business when you come into this game, because whatever it is, these companies will bless you. They'll take you for everything you got if you're not on top of your game. And I've been doing this long enough so that I have a basic understanding of how things go. Even with mechanical royalties, performance royalties, publishing, I have all of that set up in place for myself. I don't have management. I don't have a publicist. I'm pretty much independently self-managed, and I do things on my own. And one thing I found out real quick in this game is when dudes feel like you know too much or you know enough, they start to walk away from you.
Exactly.
And I've been in situations where I've had guys approach me and they, expecting me to be like a quote-unquote dumb blonde and don't know anything. Mm-hmm. When they realize I know more than they think I do, that's when they be like, okay, well, have a nice day. And I'm like, yeah, you do the same. Because I'm not going to sit up here and let you take advantage of me when I know better.
Exactly.
So you have to be on top of your business, and you have to understand what most of these contracts entail, and, you have to be able to go over the fine print. Whatever you don't understand, research, find out for yourself, get a lawyer. Just don't put yourself in a position where you're just going to get effed over big time.
Exactly. And like you had mentioned, you know, with the advent of the internet, I mean, it has blown this indie industry open to places that I'm sure that no one never thought of when the internet first, you know, hit back in the early 90s. I mean, nobody would have ever thought that this would be the case, and that, you know, record labels would be, you know, fighting one another just to keep their heads above water. And the only way they can do that is by taking advantage of you artists. And y'all need to understand and realize y'all got the power.
Right. Because with these 360 deals that they're putting on the table, and that's all they're offering, they have to understand why they're offering those deals. They've lost so much in profit from just net sales that they're willing to offer you a deal to where they got their hands in the pot on everything. So whatever it is that you get, endorsements, whatnot, outside of sales, even shows, sometimes they're taking profit from those too. That's not something that I care for. You know, so they have to make up that profit loss some kind of way. So that's the reason why they're offering these 360 deals, and that's what I don't care for.
Exactly. So where can fans and listeners find you on the internet so they can continue to support you and hop on what you're doing and basically let you know that, you know, hey, you're the woman to us?
Okay. People that know me know I'm a Twitter junkie. I'm always on Twitter. So you can find me at Red Sonya Forever. That's Red Sonya, the number 4, and EVA. I'm behind that at Twitter. You can find me on Reverb Nation at Red Sonya 829. As well as Facebook under the same, you know, handle, Red Sonya 829. I also have a SoundCloud under that same handle. So you can always find me online somewhere. I even have a YouTube channel, Red Sonya TV. The person who produced my video or the visual for my current single, Sitting on Top of the World, I was just so blessed that in the last 2 months or so, I've gotten over 23,000 views for that video alone. And like I said, this is with no push, no promotional, you know, big campaign, anything like that. Just word of mouth and just getting it out to my fans on Twitter and different social networking sites that I have this video out for the single, and it's reached 23,000 views. So I was very blessed and just very thankful that I have some fans who support me, and, you know, they love the video. But it was shot on location here in Daytona Beach, where I'm from, and it turned out beautiful. As a matter of fact, my engineer was the one who shot the video because he does video production too. So it's a very beautiful video. So you guys can check that out on YouTube.
Wow. You have to put that up on the homepage. Thank you for letting us know. We'll put it up on the homepage. Yeah. That's where it's going to be. I'm always promoting it on Twitter, so you'll see it. I even have several promo companies that's promoting it for me also. But I'm getting ready to shoot 2 videos in the next month. One will be for the title track that KLC produced for my upcoming album. The other one will be for a single that I'm working on right now that'll also be out. With two fellow artists, local artists that you guys are soon going to hear of. I'm telling you, people tend to underestimate Florida, but we got a lot of dope talent here. The single that I'm doing is called Like Bosses. I just recorded it with a fellow artist named Suave Presto, who's from Daytona Beach, as well as another female artist named Egypt. And they are just, they're dope. You have to hear them. But we're shooting a video for this particular single, and like I said, it's from my upcoming album. So we're going to be ready to go on that in about a month. Wow. You got me over here anticipating, I swear.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But like I said, I appreciate any and all support that I get from artists because, like I said, it's already hard for a female out here to be representing herself and, you know, trying to do her thing and make a mark for herself or a name for herself in the rap game. So the support that I've been getting for what it is that I'm doing, I've just been so grateful. And it's amazing because I even have other celebrities and other A-list producers that follow me on Twitter who are willing to work with me. And I mean, these are like some big names that want to work with me. And like I said, I'm just an independent artist. So I'm very excited about that. One artist that worked with Ricky Rose, I'm about to make a trip to Atlanta so that I can record 2 amazing tracks with him for my album. And then there's another producer that I'm working with out of Denver who did the track Like Boston, who also did 2 songs on my current EP, Yours Truly, which is now available on Google Play as well as iTunes. He's an amazing talent too, and his name is Cashmere Royale. Very, very talented, gifted producer. And like I said, you guys will be hearing about him real soon because so help me God, if nobody don't know, they're going to know after I shout him out and put him out there. But he's very talented. So I'm just blessed and thankful that I'm able to get the support that I've been getting, and, you know, I'm just basically an independent artist.
But you know what, though? I think that you're probably getting all the support and attention because you come without a gimmick. And listeners,
exactly.
I believe, are so tired of the female gimmicks because there's a lot of female gimmicks out there. If you paying attention, it's not enough to just the artistry of what you do. There's not that many that just flows
right.
with the artistry, you know. And the idea or the
right.
concept that you have to have a gimmick, that is so wrong. You don't. Because
I hate that.
I mean, if you know what you're doing and you're good at what you're doing, you don't need that. And you don't do that.
Right.
You don't have that.
That's the reason why I respect a female lyricist out of New Orleans. Shouts out to 3D Nature. I don't know if you guys have heard of her, but she is a phenomenal talent. Beautiful person inside and out. We follow each other on Twitter, but she's one of the few female artists that I respect in this game. She's on her independent ground too.
Okay.
She has major labels that are, you know, touting offers to her, as well as the fact that she just did, a song with Birdman not too long ago. But the thing that I love about her the most is that she's not pretentious. She doesn't come with gimmicks or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
She just spits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she's a damn good artist. So that's the reason why I think people like her, myself, you know, I feel like we deserve to have people sit up and take notice of what it is that we're trying to do, because I'm not a pretentious person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how to pretend, and I hate gimmicks. I just like for people to just see me as an artist and let my talent speak for itself, and that's basically what people think.
There you go.
So KLC, that was one of the things that he loved about me when we first started working with one another, was the fact that when he heard my music, it wasn't pretentious. He was like, and he used to tell me this all the time. Every time I record and I come out of the studio and I would send him tracks, he would get excited. And I'm sitting there like, you really like my music? And he was like, you have to understand something. You know the reason why I asked you to send me the tracks that you work on so that I can hear them? And I'm like, why? He was like, it's because you're a damn good lyricist. He said, I always look forward to what you say and how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you just have a very unique way about yourself to how you present yourself on wax. And he said, I have to give it to you. You're a dope-ass artist, and you're a very good lyricist, and that's what I love about you.
Exactly.
And my mind was blown, because this is somebody I always wanted to work with.
But hey, he's not lying. He is telling the truth. I mean, it is what it is. That's what it is. I mean,
thank you.
It is what it is. You can't say nothing other than that. Like you said, it speaks. It speaks for itself. You can't say nothing else other than that. I mean, because you're welcome. You are very welcome. So I think we just about covered everything except for the last question. Do you have any shout-outs?
Wow. I can shout out a whole gang of people, but I'm going to just keep it short and sweet. I would like to shout out Kendall Walker from True Force Records. He backed me in what it is that I do. He is responsible for the Yours Truly album, so I just want to do a special shout-out to him and thank him. Shouts out to KLC, the whole 514 family over in Baton Rouge, Overdose Entertainment, Mystical, Beautiful, Richard Weber, the engineer, and everybody over there that's affiliated with them. Beatz by the pound. Shouts out to them. Shout out to 3D Nature. She's, like I said, I respect her greatly as an artist, so, you know, I'm always doing that, and she appreciates that. Shout out home team 386 Way. You know, I love them to Egypt, Kiana Mignon, Miss Passion over out of out of Tampa, Florida. They're like my sisters, so I always shout out to everybody that's out there doing their thing. You know, stay true to yourself. Stay independent if you have to, but stay true to yourself at the end of the day.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And so there you have everyone. That was Red Sonya dropping the knowledge, dropping the heat, and we appreciate having you on We Hustle 365 iRadio. And we look forward to those future hits you were telling us about.
Of course. Thank you.
You are very welcome. And you have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Perspectives Over Beats. Next week, we have a new artist. So tune in next Friday at 6 o'clock. Take care. Bye-bye.